Tell me your story.
I was this close to dying from a brain abscess that was misdiagnosed.
Good to know people care, though.
For a lot of people, the MRIs are clear.
You said you had a lot to tell.
Oh, yeah.
Someone said,
I thought it was normal to have like seizures by yourself all the time.
You definitely will feel guilt a lot.
I so appreciate you putting this together.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so do we want to start with Tarina's intro of what meds are you taking? How long have you been diagnosed, and when was your last seizure?
Okay, I take lamotrigine 800 a day, 400 twice a day. I just started 225 pregabalin. Lyrica.
Pregabalin?
Yeah, I'm weaning off of Zonegran. And then I had my first seizure at 15. I had my last tonic-clonic in 1999, thank God, because of lamotrigine. But I have vocal seizures daily. Today I've been very lucky. I'm hoping the Lyrica is working, but I had my last vocal aware seizure yesterday morning. Oh, hi, Toaster. You're on mute.
Hey, Toaster.
Hi, Toaster.
Yeah,
And
get on.
Hey guys.
This is what I
Take them
take from my
B12.
vocals. I started taking these before last summer, and I haven't had a
Oh my
vocal
God, I can't
seizure.
believe I called crazy. That
Shout out
was
to Nature's
crazy.
Made.
I take those every morning, and I'm gonna start taking them every night.
Oh yeah, it says take 2 a day. Hey Liz.
Hi, everyone.
Lizzie.
Hi, Toaster.
Today's story was great, Toaster.
And to finish off my
Yeah, love the story.
introduction, I
Go
have
ahead.
been diagnosed for my seizures. I have a rare brain malformation called a schizencephaly. If you saw my MRI,
Oh, that's how you pronounce it.
I'll probably post it on Epilepsy Epilepsy Universe. It looks like somebody jabbed their fingers into my brain, and then the middle membrane of my brain is missing. And then you'll see my eye is lazy and blind in it. I have what's called septo-optic dysplasia, which also causes seizures. So, yeah. And schizencephaly is the second rarest brain birth defect. There's only been like 8,000 people documented with it. So yeah.
So sorry, you said you posted that on the universe?
Not yet. I'll post it up on the universe after the podcast. My the MRI that was taken in 2009. I'm set to have a new one, but they the hospital that has the lens that's supposed to do my MRI, they're very paranoid because I have a VNS, which got turned off because I have 4 types of vocals, and the one type of vocal that I had that I've been having since I was 16, I used to only have one type of vocal once in a while. I got used to it, but once I started perimenopause, I started having more types of vocals. So we're thinking after my MRI, turning this thing back on and seeing if it'll work for my other vocals, if the Lyrica is not working. So, but I think my seizure doctor's goal is surgery. So yeah, that's my intro when it comes to my epilepsy and seizures and stuff.
Nice to meet you.
Impressive intro.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
over impressive.
I'm sorry it was long.
No, I'm
Hey.
thoroughly impressed. Finally, patients who are more aware of their condition, of the origins, what to expect, you really do stand a better chance at living a quality life.
Yeah.
If you kind of know what you got. I've never heard of having the VNS shut off though. I have a brain implant myself. What's the maintenance on that? I mean, doesn't stuff go bad? The
It's
battery if you leave it in there?
yeah, it's just there. And it's supposed to be taken out on the 6th year. Unless we were planning to turn it back on. I don't know. We haven't talked about it. We were talking about just taking it out. But then when I started these new vocal seizures, we didn't think they were vocal seizures at first. We thought they were something PNS, but then PNES, but I have borderline personality disorder, and I've been through all the quote treatments for PNES. So I've done all of those, everything when the major new type of vocal was happening. Didn't work. The only thing that works for those or my other ones is clonazepam. And I live in South Carolina, and they hate benzos down here. But my seizure doctor, he's not against benzos, he's against oral benzos. So we're trying to get me on Nasalm, but I don't have insurance. So we're trying to get me on a zero income plan because I have no income. I've been trying for over a decade to get disability, but oh, you have wonderful voice. You could do customer service. I have seizures. Yeah. Do you know any company that's gonna let me recover from a seizure? I mean, I may not have tonic-clonics, but some of my vocal aware seizures, like I feel like I got hit by a freight train and it takes me a few hours to recover, especially the ones that feel like migraine auras. Man, those just put me in bed. I feel like I can't walk. I feel stupid. There's no way I can hold a job with especially those. It's frustrating. So yeah.
Hi, Toast.
That is so true. I have heard so many times, why don't you get a work from home position? A work from home position. First off, do you know how hard it is to get a work from home position now? Everyone wants work from home. Everybody.
And
Second,
then
anything, absolutely anything customer facing, I am going to end up having a seizure on the phone. And they're just going to be there, like, what's going on, while they're hearing weird noises and probably barking.
and then they're
Probably gonna
probably
get
gonna
pissed.
complain to corporate about, I think your representative was mocking me or something like that, or
I've had it
making
happen.
really?
Yeah, I used to work for a call center. It was Convergys, but it was really just a call center that took it, Spectrum, Time Warner. Back then, I think it was
Oh yeah,
Time
I
Warner.
have Spectrum. Yeah.
Can't
Ba- Back then, it
can't
was
call
Time
yourself out.
Warner.
You can do anything. Can't
Oh
say
yeah,
you're
you
the
can't
best
do
you can do.
anything. Definitely. But it's hard.
The only thing that I found that I could probably do as an employment would be data analysis, but only if there's not like strict time constriction. Because, like I said, some of my vocal awares can put me down for like hours, and I'm just scared that, I mean, I get really like data analysis. You can, um, yeah, especially, yeah, you could be really unreliable with attendance. Like, what if you have a vocal seizure before you come into work and you're like, I don't think I can do it today. But data analysis, you're supposed to be able to do it like on your own time. But if you do that wrong, you can cost your company money. And
Either
people
way, you're
just
gonna
don't
need a
get it.
company that's willing to work with you
Yeah, and I mean,
and allow
there's
you to make
companies.
mistakes to a certain extent.
There are people that I find that are more willing to work with people with tonic-clonics than with vocal seizures. Because I guess that makes sense. So
Frequency does make a difference.
Well, no, it's not frequency. It's intensity. They see folk awares and they're like, "That's not anything.
that's
Take
not
it
Lack of
off.
anything.
Go back to
awareness.
work."
Oh
Lack
my
of
gosh.
awareness. People
Yeah.
don't understand them.
Yeah, they're like, you don't look like you're having a seizure. Like, I'll be here in bed and, my husband will ask me, can you go get me some cereal? And I'm like, I'm having a vocal aware, give me a few minutes. And he's like, you just had a vocal aware. And I'm like, yeah, I'm clustering. He's like, you're always clustering. I'm like, yeah, I cluster every day almost. I'm not clustering today. I hope the lyric is starting to work. I mean, I'm having some rising in my stomach, but that's about it today. But you know, it's you don't look like you're having a seizure. People not knowing what a vocal aware is. I told my mom that I think for laymen, for people who's never heard of vocal seizures, I think I'm gonna go back to just using the term partial seizure because at least that makes sense to them. Because, you know what I mean? Like somebody who's never heard of a vocal seizure, partial seizure makes more sense. I mean,
Absence. I've had luck with absence too. Just explaining it in that sense that that I'm absent for a little bit. And some people might understand that if saying partial, just obviously it can still be generalized, but if our devices kind of shut it up or you cut it
yeah,
short, then we don't go into the convulsions. But it is definitely a task to get people to understand, especially if you're post-ictal and they're just like in your face, like, what's wrong with you? Yeah.
gosh, yeah, post-ictal, even with vocal awares, post-ictal is, I
Yeah.
mean,
I don't remember why I'm standing here or what I was doing and why are you talking to me? Go ahead, Toast.
Go ahead, Toaster.
That's the icebreaker.
Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to get done. I was going to say we got to get started, you guys. You guys are around the corner.
We're way ahead of you, bro.
We're gonna say we just took off without you.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I couldn't even keep up. I was just let them talk, but we got to get started, you guys. We're not. Icebreaker. What's something you wish you never told your parents?
oh,
My icebreakers are never easy, so you got to think on this one. Yeah.
in general or has to do with epilepsy?
Anything you want.
Anything.
I'm probably gonna regret saying this too, but I guess any admission that you're right. I didn't want to say that shortly after it was uttered, and yeah, I did. I admitted being wrong, and that was always a poor choice in hindsight. What about you guys?
Honestly, I can't think of one. The icebreaker
I
was
can.
you guys.
I'm trying to. It wouldn't be with my mom. It would definitely be with my dad, but I'm trying to think. But
What
like
do
I
I
said,
regret telling my parents?
I
I'm
just got
going to smoke.
America. Lyrica is melting my brain. I'm surprised my brain's not coming out of my ears. Um, hmm.
You can always come back to you, no rush. Toaster, what was yours?
I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. Wish I had never said that. You know how much trouble I got in? Yeah. I mean, it's weird when you have cool parents that let you smoke weed. You say, okay, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. It's be fine. And nope.
So
Bad
weed's
idea.
cool, but cigarettes weren't?
My parents are hippies.
So are mine.
One thing I'm kind of.
They're fine with vaping.
I wish I never
They
told
don't
my
like
dad. I only care about my kids and my mom.
they don't like cigarettes. They say there's too many
It-
things in them. It's like, okay, mom.
It's
But
the
you
same
won't.
with me. I think I'm more okay with my kids doing weed. I don't know if it's a phobia of cigarettes, just cigarettes gross me out so much that I cannot be around an ashtray when I eat, as I'll throw up. If anything of mine touches a cigarette butt, it has to be bleached. Like,
Oh dear.
I have a very bad aversion to cigarettes. And like my mom rolls her own cigarettes and it's just paper. She would ask me, like, her tubes would spill, and if I even touched a cigarette paper, I would have to wash my hands just because it's related to cigarettes. But anyway, never wish I told my parents. On the opposite, you're wrong. Or my dad, you're wrong about me. Like, you're saying stuff wrong about me. You're wrong about me. That's it. Tell my dad you're wrong about me. I got in so much trouble that day.
I wish I never told my father that I only care about my kids and my mom.
Oh.
On the flip side, though, out of everything that we wish we never told our parents, did we get over it, essentially? Parents still don't hold it against you?
Right then and there, I kind of changed it up. I kind of told them, I said that in a sense of those are the people I need to take care of. You're damn near a millionaire. You don't need me in that sense. It's just like they need me and you don't necessarily need me. And
Makes sense.
ironically, I'm moving in with them next week. First question here. How often do you get seizures? Lately, I've been noticing many seizures once every 2 to 3 days. I got diagnosed with epilepsy after suffering from hemoglobin. I know the word hemoglobin, but there's hemoglobinemia. There's an MIA at the end of that. I don't know how to pronounce it in particular. Suffer from hemoglobinemia not too long ago, so I'm pretty new to this all. Suffer my seizures pretty much every 3 months, so I'm due for one. Yeah.
So do you have tonic clinics or are they all just vocals?
I don't have focals anymore because of this right here. Shout out to Nature's Made, B12. The day I start taking them, I never had a focal again. It's not just regular B12. You got to get the by Nature's Made, and they come extra strength. If you just go to the store and get them, I don't think they're gonna have the extra strength. But when I do it over Instacart, they have the 3,000 micrograms a day. I mean, yeah, 3,000 micrograms. So one in the morning, one at night, and yeah, I haven't had a focal since summer 2025.
I take
So
both of
they're
mine at the
tonic clinics. Oh, great. Okay.
What are you taking for your B12?
Yeah, I take the B12 too, but I take them both at the same time.
Oh, I was asking, Sid, I forgot how you said your name. Sharina?
Shuri.
Shuri.
Just Shuri.
Sharina.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. What are you
I'm
taking?
going to, I'm gonna start taking, I'm gonna start taking the B12 twice a day. My husband got the 3,000 from his work that I was taking in the morning when my brain fog got really bad, and I heard on r/epilepsy to take the B12, and I started and my brain fog just went right away. But then I heard, I think from you, to take it twice a day, so I'm gonna start doing that. I just wanted to get a little bit more used to my Lyrica before I adjusted anything more. So I'm gonna start trying the twice a day. I think my husband got me some more. It's another brand and it's only 2,000, but we'll see if it does anything.
So
All
after
right,
you
well,
started the B12, did it take like a month to kick in, or how long do you give yourself time to adjust to the pills? That could be a general question because I'm gonna start some CBD in another week or so, and I don't know if I should give it like 2 weeks or a whole month or how long.
Where do you start?
I
I'm
had
so sorry.
a consult today with Realm of Caring and somebody who's, I guess, kind of job it is with them to just help you make the right choice. And I was going over a menu of a dispensary around here, and she was saying that it, based on what they have, what she sees, that for epilepsy, maybe a better choice would be to start with like a higher CBD than THC percentage just to see if I get used to it. If I don't, start having more seizures on like half a gummy twice a
Yeah.
day.
What strand? There's different strains. What strain?
Not sure. I'm gonna talk to them when I get there, but she made it clear that the priority was to just start with a CBD percentage higher than the THC and a little bit at a time. And she was
Dag
suggesting, none of the oils yet.
Sorry, I live in
I
a no THC state. I live in South Carolina, which is so anti-marijuana in any capacity, even CBD. So I am SOL.
No problem. That's why we're all here, to just throw it out there and see what we know.
Okay.
I personally prefer that high THC stuff, but that's for other reasons.
I mean, that's what I was used to for like the rest of my life before babies. So that's what I'm thinking I'd like. But again, that was a long time ago and our bodies change. So I'll take the
Yeah.
advice, see if the CBD settles, then they give away those pre-rolls like candy. So I know I'll have that on hand if I feel like taking a walk
Mm-hmm.
or opening a window. I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
the question was how often do you guys get seizures, and nobody really answered. I answered
Oh,
I,
you
I
want
think
to
4 a month.
every 4 months.
focals or tonic clonics or what?
Any
Uh, two
seizure.
Yeah, 2 tonics and like one focal a week and maybe 1 or 2 tonics. That's only if I'm making changes. The tonics I can find an excuse for. So I don't want to say it's my fault, but I know why. If I skip a dose or I don't know.
You probably aggravated something that could have caused something.
Exactly. Exactly. If I do anything out of place on like the wrong time of the month, then looking back, I can say that's why. And take notes, and I'm supposed to change those habits, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But that's why it's sometimes one, sometimes two. Either way, the little 30-second focals are getting shorter. But those are still like once a week. Overall, they don't get in the way though.
I was having, go ahead.
Tonic clonics are not a problem with me anymore unless I am off my lamotrigine, which is my miracle drug. Vocals, the last few days have been like only one or two. I haven't had any today yet, but I usually have them every day. They usually cluster. They usually start at about 1 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock, so I'm hoping that the Lyrica's working. But I usually cluster every 40 minutes from 1 p.m. till 8 p.m. So I have about 8 vocal awares a day since July. Once a month, well, twice a month. From the beginning of the month, for some reason, beginning of the month, I have 4 days where I have non-stop every 20 to 40 minutes clusters of 2 types of vocals. I have either the ones that feel like migraine auras or the classic ones where you have the rising in your stomach, then the feeling of doom, and then when you're breathing, it feels like you're drowning, and the feeling of unwellness, and those last about 3 minutes. And then I just go through those nonstop for about 4 days. And then catamenial. I have my catamenials, which before July, between September of 2023, which is when they started, and July of this year, once a month, right before my period would start, I would have these vocals that would happen every 10 minutes, but I would take my clonazepam, which would end them. But I'll probably put on Catamenial Universe the details of that, so I'm not taking up people's times here. And I would take my benzos for that, but stuff happened and I agreed to a benzo break. So now I suffer through every 10 minutes for 4 days during my period, just vocals every 10 minutes, and they get pretty bad.
And that's what they're
Sometimes,
suggesting the Nasalam interventions for.
and for those, and which I don't know how much I'm going to be able to take of those, because I'm up to 2.5 for clonazepam for my rescues. So what's the equivalent for Nasalam? Like, is 2 squirts of Nasalam gonna do it for me if I'm on 2.5 of clonazepam?
That's the
Like, is that
thing,
gonna be
they
enough?
don't really give you an equivalent. I mean, there's no chart essentially to kind of not translate, but you know what I mean, to balance it out. And essentially the Nasalam, from what I remember understanding when it was prescribed to me, is that Nasalam is supposed to be the intervention, the cutoff to stop the cluster, to like a total reset. And it does feel that way. I mean, sometimes if I was clustering, if it was a long tonic-clonic, that was the only time I would take the Nasalam. And regardless, I've expected to be drowsy and like and have that kind of want to pass out feeling after. But now I think that might actually have something to do with the nasal. You know, it is nasally administered and definitely takes effect quickly. And that might be just as effective. I mean, when you took your benzos, do you remember when they kicked in, you would be tired? You know, did they
I
kind
would
of bring
be,
you down?
yeah, I'd be tired and calmer. I've been taking clonazepam for like 8 years. What happened was I used to take them as needed, you know, I took them as needed. Before I started perimenopause, I only had the one type of vocal that would happen like, I don't know, they never bothered me. They happened when I would get startled. And then when I would take them was either when I would have more than two a day, if I were going to go to an event where having a partial was probably not favorable, going swimming, because they were the only thing that would just prevent my partial. So if I went, like if I went to a concert, went to the fair, you know, and it was once in a while, like once a month or whatever. And same with when my perimenopause came, because schizencephaly are really sensitive to hormones. Um, when I talk to postmenopausal women with schizencephaly, they say that they got new seizures perimenopause, but once their menopause kicked in, the seizures went away and they went back to how it was before perimenopause. So I just gotta make it. I just gotta make it through perimenopause. But yeah, so I'm used to taking it only like once a month and stuff, but because they got me onto the dissolvables, instead of an hour, they would kick in 40 minutes. And it was supposed to be, you know, quicker than that. So what I'm hoping is, even though the dissolvables go to your bloodstream, there's still quite a bit that goes down and goes into your digestive system. So I'm hoping that the nasal that all of it goes into your blood system and that it all goes to your brain. So it's like, oh, what was I thinking? I hope you know where I'm going.
Yeah,
Like
so
the
something about
equivalent,
how much nasal actually gets into your system.
yeah, how much clonazepam actually got to my system because, oh, okay, bye, Andrea. Thank you. Sorry.
Oh,
Hey,
you don't
yeah,
have to.
hopefully the clonazepam got like, you know, enough in my system, but some of it was out of it, so the nasal would be the equivalent. Great to meet you too. I hope you come back. So yeah, so hopefully I don't have any vocals today, and if I do, you know, but good news is this last September, I didn't have the catamenial 4-day thing that usually happens around my period, which is really odd. And that makes me very happy. So hopefully it's a pattern and hopefully the Lyrica is working. I can only hope.
This one says toxic level, half-life of medication. I'm taking the motrigine for epilepsy. However, I'm also on another anti-epileptic medication. I had my TRO level measured, and we suspect even before getting the results that I might be too high. I'm experiencing coordination problems, dizziness, and word finding difficulties. Has anyone else experienced this? Personally, no. Wait. Actually, I am on lamotrigine, so let me read that again in my head. I'm only going through insomnia. That's it. My hair is not falling out like other people. Everyone has other problems with it. I have the insomnia from the lamotrigine, the worst. Other than that, I'm good. Yeah, this person's also on another anti-epileptic medication too, so I'm not. But there's a comment here. One says, "What is the other medication? If it's cleared by the same pathway as lamotrigine, liver, glucuronidation, it could lead to toxic levels. Valproic, Depakote, valproic acid is the prime offender. The person responsible.
Yes.
The other medication is valproic.
Yes, with lamotrigine. Oh, goodness me, yes. Those are culprits. Yes. They boost lamotrigine levels.
Kay, you ever took any of those?
Oh,
Not
yeah.
lamotrigine.
Is valproic acid for some reason it sounds like a liquid when I say acid. What's that like?
The brand name on that one, it's an AED. It's Depakote. That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
And no, actually, I don't think
Kevin
I've been
takes
on Depakote.
Depakote.
It's another one of those GABA.
Yeah, Kevin takes Depakote and Angel takes Depakote.
Yeah, it's
Another
supposed to
comment
be
here,
like
Kay.
another calming the nerve activity in the brain.
Oh. Another one says, when my wife was on Cinnabarbamate at 200 milligrams, she was walking around like Jack Sparrow. She couldn't get her words out all the time. This is very common when tablets don't agree with you. Right. One more. It says, I'm on lamotrigine and Keppra. My medication seems to increase every 6 months. My neurologist suggested a diet change. Then we laughed because we know the meds have stopped me from eating regularly. Take some B12 by Nature's Made. Brought everything back from me. Yeah, so Kate, lamotrigine, you say you didn't take it?
No, I've never taken lamotrigine or valproic acid, but those are in the same families as the AEDs. You know, all those Keppra type ones that are just supposed to get in there and calm all the brain activity. And they're usually used in combination. I think that was another thing of the meds that I've been on. They after I realized that, like Fycompa, for example, and Carbitrol maybe was one of them, but the ones that they go to as like a second medication or a third, like whatever word they use for like the ones that add on, those are the ones that I didn't want to take because the goal for me was always to not take so many medication, and it seemed pointless to accept the Carbitrol if I knew they were going to want the other one on top of it. And that's how they make a lot of them nowadays, with the assumption that it's going to be an adjunct, I think is the word. What were you going to say, Serena?
I have taken lamotrigine since it first came out into public circulation. So long time. Since the 90s. So yeah, I know a lot about it, and that does sound like it could happen, especially with those add-on medications, which boost it. Those are usually used when you first take lamotrigine to boost the levels. And so they can cause worsening or new side effects along with it. And that's why once you get on a higher dose of lamotrigine, you're usually weaned off of them. So yeah.
So your medical care team has never mentioned drug resistant for you. Being on an antidepressant for so many years, you didn't develop like a resistance or tolerance?
For lamotrigine?
I mean, for any medication in general, because that's one of the things that I've always struggled with. It's after I take a medication for, say 6 months, I feel like it's working. Then they want to double the dose, just saying that I'm drug resistant and it's going to wear off.
lamotrigine has never been drug resistant to me. I mean, I've hired the dose. I mean, I'm on 800, but it's usually been for other reasons. Like we raised it to 800 because I'm on perimenopause, but we actually raised it the first time because I was getting married, and my neurologist was hoping that that would help my vocal seizures so I wouldn't have one during my wedding because that would be embarrassing because it's a motor vocal seizure, which requires me sitting and grabbing stuff and counting. That would be very embarrassing. Thank God I had no vocal seizures during my wedding. The second time was raised when I had a close call during my pregnancy. So yeah, I haven't had any resistance to lamotrigine, and actually resistance with lamotrigine is very, 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 very rare. So you should try it if you're having like drug resistant problems. I'm very surprised you haven't tried it. It's one of the first ones they try.
That being said, maybe I did. Like I said, I've been through like 13 medications, and I just have the list to give to the new neurologist, get on the same page and take it from there. I haven't looked at that list in a long time.
Well, the brand name is Lamictal.
Right, right. That might come up.
Yeah, they get
All right,
generic.
Pookie, what was the next one?
Oh, before we move forward, I was gonna ask, I forgot your name again, but I was gonna ask you, oh, were you born with it? Because you said in the 90s. I'm not sure how exactly. I'm born in the 80s, so were
I
you
was born
born
in
with epilepsy?
I was born with the schizencephaly. But I didn't start my seizures till I was 15. We always knew something was wrong with me because of the schizencephaly. I mean, we didn't know what was wrong until I was 21 and got a MRI. But I was behind developmentally, speech-wise. I was blind in my eye. We suspected something, but let's just say my dad was in denial. And so can you be born with epilepsy without having seizures? Or does epilepsy
Yes.
start when you have a seizure?
No. If it's genetic, you're born with it, and eventually it's just gonna come.
Yeah. So
But you won't have that diagnosis on your chart until you have two.
Yeah, so I was born with what causes my seizures.
Understandable. It's good that you know that. I mean, at least being more aware, you can make sure that's a common knowledge in your family.
Well, it's not genetic. It was actually my poor mom. It was just really bad timing. It was the only time she did cocaine, and it was the perfect timing. We linked it up, timing and everything. She took cocaine around the time that my brain was developing, and cocaine is a very big component of causing schizencephaly, and epilepsy does not run in our family. And my kids do not have schizencephaly or epilepsy. So it was caused by drug use.
Did
And
the doctors told you that?
they said that was probably if we don't have a family history, they were going through things that could cause it. Like, also, my mom was young. Young moms are also a higher risk of schizencephaly. She was 20 when she had me. And she was like, and they were like, did you do any heavy drugs around so and so time? And my mom was like, when she was due to be early, when I was early pregnant with her, when I didn't even know I was pregnant with her yet, I did cocaine with her dad. And we put 2 and 2 together and we're like, okay. Those were the only things that we could figure out caused it. So yeah.
That was another thing I didn't understand. When you said motor seizures, what is that? I never heard that one.
Motor vocal seizures are when it affects your body too. You can have like the monoclonic jerks and stuff, but I call them motor seizures because they involve involuntary body movement when I have the vocal seizures. I get startled, then I grab onto stuff. I grab onto the nearest thing. I pull it towards me, and it feels like I'm gonna go into a tonic-clonic. I never do. It has that feeling. It's like an aura that I'm gonna have a tonic-clonic, but I count myself through it. Usually, it's when I count to 20, and once I count to 20, it ends, and then I'm like out of breath. It's weird. It clears my sinuses. Always clears my sinuses. I'm sore and I'm tired. And it's like, whatever. And those are the ones that I'm used to having. And I've had them on the bus. I've had them at school. They're embarrassing, but,
So
they
would you say
used
you're
to fly.
aware the whole time those are
Yeah.
happening? Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. And the thing is my tonic-clonics are apparently rare. I'm aware for the first like 40 seconds of them, and they are the most painful thing you can imagine. Like the only thing I can imagine being more painful than my tonic-clonics is a full body burn. Like nothing, I cannot picture anything more. And then post-ictal lasts all day, and it is the worst thing ever. Like, I rather all my bones be broken and have scorching water poured over me than have one tonic-clonic. It is the worst thing in the world.
We all know how that feels.
Are your guys' tonics painful?
Oh yeah.
Uh,
That's some hours of recovery, and then the next day, a different branch of the recovery. Tonic-clonics are and convulsions are definitely painful
I
for a
mean,
long
like
time.
during them. During them, like the actual them themselves.
I'm never aware, so afterwards, when I become aware, if family just feels like asking that question, then I'll just tell them, if I hit anything extra hard, or if I was in like the half bath or that small space, a closet, something is more likely to be obviously injured. But yeah, my memory is usually pretty wiped out for a couple hours before and after. So the next day I'll feel it, but not really be able to recall what it felt like during. And anybody who's
Oh,
around knows better than to focus on that.
yeah.
What are you saying, Pook?
you said, do you feel it while you're in it? You have you're conscious while you have your tonics?
For about the first 40 seconds, like, let me describe one of my tonics. Let's hope I don't have a panic attack because I don't have any benzos.
No need to induce it. Let's move on.
Oh, okay. Let's just say that's scary.
Oh, yeah, because once upon a time I was having tonics and I was conscious, and those are the only ones you can feel. Like when you say, "Can you feel it?" Those ones, it was like I have a tonic and I'm just not in control of my body, and I can see whichever way my head is looking, and I can feel whatever my body might be hitting up against. That might be the only thing that hurt is hitting it up against. Like every 4 or 5 seconds, you might feel like you got tased
So
a
it
little
wasn't,
bit.
oh, sorry. So it wasn't
Uh,
like painful, like it didn't feel like scorching water and that your bones were twisting there and you weren't like like twisting about and stuff, like you didn't have the most painful pain you've ever felt in your life
No,
during this?
mine was more just like I'm not in control of my body, and I was doing the average convulsions, straightening out my legs and sometimes curling up and stiffening. The average movements. I just was not in control of anything, and that was it. It was like every few seconds, I felt like like I got tasered a few times every few seconds. So that was the
Ooh.
part that I would like stretch out and move, but it was like 20 to 30 seconds, and yeah, I can feel myself gritting my teeth. I can feel all that. But pain in particular, it's just like whatever you're hitting up against. Like there's not really painful. The taser part where you feel like you're getting shocked a little bit, it's like every few seconds and it's real fast and it doesn't leave a lingering pain. And then you get the average postictal headache, which is usually going to happen, but pain during it, there actually was one time I had pain during it, but I was hitting my head on something as it was happening. So that was where the pain was coming from because I was having the seizure and I was hitting my head against the side of the inside of the car. But that's not like seizure pain. That's hitting the wall pain. Yeah, so there's that. And that one eventually just knocks me out. It's pain deprivation, and you just go to sleep eventually. Like I can feel the tears going down my face because I can't control my body, and then eventually I just black out. So there's not really pain from the seizure. There's not really pain during a seizure that I've experienced. Like I said, it's everybody's body is different, but mine when that small taser part, like I said, it's real fast and it goes away real fast because you're in a seizure. And then most of it you won't remember until you think back and put the pieces together. But those are mine. I have not talked to my neurologist yet to figure out what those ones are called, but everyone tells me different things like partial complex. I've been told a few times, but then I heard other people say partial complex and other things were happening. But
Sounds like vocal aware monoclonic jerks, maybe?
nah.
You can't debate tonic-clonic convulsions, actually.
Yeah, that was a tonic, full blown.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were people around me were like, "You're having a seizure." They didn't know that I could see, and I was like, they were like, "It looks like the average seizure." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, this time I could see you guys and listen to you guys talking and stuff." Yeah, so they family said it was a tonic, and got to go with that because they were there. They just didn't know I was aware this time, and they didn't know that was actually a thing. But yeah, depends on what you're having. Like I said, I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm half there. I guess I'm just in the body, and I'm not in control of it. Yeah.
I hate that feeling. It's like sleep paralysis.
Angel, how are you?
Yo, what's
There
up,
it
bro?
goes.
How you doing, man?
What's
Yeah.
up?
The
Happy to have
My
you.
icebreaker
brother
today.
Spooky.
I forgot the
Kate.
icebreaker today. Kate got you. Go ahead, Kate.
And
What is one thing you
I,
regret saying to your parents?
one person at a time.
One
Go
thing you
ahead, Kate. I'm
regret
sorry.
telling your parents.
One thing I regret telling my parents. I think the one thing I really regret telling my mom was like a few years ago not to come around. You know, missing time with her granddaughter and everything.
Yeah, that sounds regrettable.
But it was trying to make the marriage work out, and look what happened anyway.
Hey, we have priorities. You do what's best. I would never second guess your motivation or intentions behind anything you said, because We all do it.
Yeah.
And what matters now is that everything's straight. You're the best dad no matter what.
She just asked me, "Can you feel your seizures? Do your seizures hurt?" That was a question that we came to, and from the experiences I've had, the aware ones, not at all.
Do I feel my seizures?
Yes. Very much.
Your
Wait,
tonic-clonic seizures. Do you feel your tonic-clonics if you have them?
when I'm aware, the last time I was aware of them was a long time ago, but yeah, they were hurt. It was like being electrified.
Mine was similar, except mine was short electrocutions. It was like a buzz, and then it went off for a few
Yeah.
seconds.
It
Back.
was like, and I remember the first one that it went to was in 2022. That was the 6-hour one.
Oh
The
my
cluster.
goodness.
That's the one that the doctor says it was a cluster.
Yeah.
And it just felt like death was ready to like take me.
Goodness gracious. I'm so sorry, dude.
It says why paramedics call everything a panic attack. Why paramedics didn't understand that I had a seizure, not a panic attack. Around midnight, I was on the street next to my boyfriend's workplace when I started seizing and dropped. One of my BF's colleagues ran over to me, and luckily, a neurologist walked there. What was the chance for this to happen? The neurologist knew from the start that it was a seizure, and my boyfriend told them when he got there that I'm an epileptic. When I was cleared up, I also told them that. I guess that they don't believe me because I quickly cleared it up, almost no postictal phase. That hit me later on, and there was no liquid that came out of my mouth. I kind of argued them a bit, and then when I had another seizure in the hospital, I kind of argued with them a bit until I had another seizure on the way to the hospital. I hate they call every seizure just a panic attack. I had a panic attack a few years ago, and maybe that was a seizure. I was not diagnosed back then. I don't know. Why do the paramedics call them panic attacks? Because they do kind of look like panic attacks. Yeah, I had one for the first time that I did not understand what it was. And like I said, I was here with you guys. We talked about it. I explained it. Kate took over like the great Kate and handled the mission. And I got to get up and walk away because I did not understand that. Yeah, it was an uneasy feeling, and I didn't know what was going on. So my mind and my body weren't in sync. My body was saying, get up and run away, and my mind was saying, what is going on? And that's how that was. So, first comment here says, say that again.
Are we talking post-ictal or vocal seizures?
The question was why paramedics call everything a panic attack.
Oh, everything. Okay, yeah. No, I get it, yeah.
The first, there's a post here, a comment. It says, in my case, the paramedics were pretty insistent that I had likely experienced a seizure because I went from not recognizing my partner and wanting to go back to sleep to suddenly realizing there were paramedics in my bedroom. It was a doctor who tried to send me home with, in quote, night terrors until I took a nap waiting for my discharge papers, and then I had another seizure when I woke up. Another one here says, they were originally telling me it was just anxiety every time, and I went to the ER after a good maul, and I'm a male, and they wouldn't believe me that I was having seizures. Eventually, I found a good neurologist who found my brain tumor, diagnosed me with epilepsy. Sorry to hear that. That sucks.
Dude, that sounds like a nightmare.
James, you there? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm here. Just
I
haven't been
got you,
feeling
bro.
too well. Haven't been
I
feeling
got
too
you.
well. What's up?
It's all right.
Yeah,
But
thanks
the
for
last
making
Yeah, just
question
time
we
for
wanted to
had,
us.
wanted to stop in, say what's up. Haven't seen you guys in like a week or so. So
yeah, I know. I do have the question we were on. It said, "Why did the paramedics call everything a panic attack?" Um, another comment here says, "Seizures equal loss of license. They could just be chill like that." Not really.
I think I have an answer to this. Because my mother-in-law's a paramedic. And I was having vocal aware clusters when she took us to Cracker Barrel. And she kept looking at me with this weird look on her face. She's like, "What's happening to you?" I'm like, "I'm having vocal seizures." She goes, "What are those?" Now, I think this was after she retired. She thought I should have used the term partial seizure, but I just don't think paramedics know what focal seizures are or partial seizures, but they may be explaining that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, atonic clonic, I mean, those are kind of hard to say those are, you know, not seizures. But I remember my first seizure, I woke up with paramedics around me. The ER doctor diagnosed me with vagal nerve attack. I don't know how, I don't know why. But I just think paramedics are undereducated. They do not know about awareness seizures, and aware focal seizures come with panic and doom. Most of us have focal seizures and they have the doom and panic with them, and you do feel that. And I also have severe panic attacks, and they feel different. They have a different feeling to them, but you can tell.
AJ, the great AJ.
Awesome, AJ.
Also, Sharina, you said, I forgot what you said. Oh, I was gonna ask you, where are you? Because you said the paramedics don't know what things are. Every time the paramedics come here, they pretty much asking me, was it a focal or was it a grand mal? Yes.
The My mother-in-law, see, I'm living in South Carolina. My mother-in-law is in South Carolina, and she doesn't know about focal seizures. Now, I think when she was a paramedic, they were called partial seizures. See, that's the thing. The terminology has changed. I should have said partial seizures, um, but yeah, she's like, "I never heard of those." And she goes, "You don't look like you're having a seizure," until I had to brace myself on the table as I was gonna fall. Uh, because those were the migraine feelings, partial seizures. But on focal aware epilepsy Reddit, we were talking about how the paramedics just don't know. I mean, those of us with focal awareness seizures, one of the biggest side effects is the feeling of panic and doom. So maybe we do feel like we're having panic attacks at first, but we just know there's something off. And when I was in the ER and I was telling the nurse, "Give me a moment, I'm having a focal aware partial right now," she would give me this look like, "Oh my gosh, you're such a faker." She rolled her eyes. It was, and someone in the focal aware Reddit said one of the doctors told her, "You don't look like you're having a seizure." So yeah, it's just lack of awareness.
What is one thing you regret telling your parents?
So yeah, there's nothing that I guess I would regret that I told them. Obviously, as a teenager, college years younger, there's things I regret them finding out that I had done. Obviously, we all have that, I think, right? At some point. But nothing major that I really, off the top of my head, at least that I can think of. If I sat and thought about it for a while, maybe I could think of something, but I don't think
For me, I just regret telling my dad that I only care about my mom and my children. So there's that. I'm not talking specifically about epilepsy. You guys talking about your parents about that, but yeah, I told my dad that I only care about my children and my mom, and that was only because I was speaking from a different angle. I was more along the lines of, "You're kind of rich, so you don't need me," and I had to clear that up. But yeah, there's that.
I mean, I guess, yeah, certain things you say like out of anger once in a while towards your parents, you know, maybe when you're young, you know,
it wasn't out of anger.
It
wasn't out of anger.
I was thinking, yeah, I don't know about your situation, so I don't want to speak on that. I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm speaking like myself. You know, sometimes you say something as a kid, you know, like, "Oh, you're stupid, I hate you," you know, something as a kid, you know, something like that. Like, of course, you regret that later on, but there's nothing I can, major that was like a life-changing type of thing. I guess.
AJ, the question that I wanted your response is why did the paramedics call everything a panic attack? Before we moved on, I'd really like your answer to that. And James, also, do you have an answer to that one? Also,
I don't. My very first one back in 06, it happened. It was the first one. My parents had no idea what to do, so they called the paramedics. They showed up there. I got taken to the ER, and I was told pretty much instantly it was a seizure. Talked to a neurologist. They, started getting me on, a med. My license was pulled. Pretty much ever since the first one I had, it was considered seizures. I never had any issues with having to battle and get like 28 different opinions on whether, what it was or not. I guess I got kind of lucky, it sounds like, from listening to everybody else's story.
yeah, you can get lucky. Gonna go through this next one though. Did we get AJ's answer? Okay, we'll move forward. This one says, "Is it too much? I started taking 10 milligrams of clobazam twice a day since Monday to 1,000 milligrams 3 times a day of Keppra and 400 milligrams. It's 100 milligrams in the morning, 100 milligrams in the afternoon, and 200 milligrams at night of glucose, and 150 milligrams twice a day of lamella. I feel it's too much for my body. No, huh?
Oh shit, my bad. Sorry, I thought I was on mute.
It's good, James. It says, "I feel too much for my body. No really side effects. I'm sleepy as fuck, but nothing more. But as a 23-year-old, I hate to take this too much. I hate to take this too much meds to function. And I fear the possibility addiction to clobazam and suicidal thoughts. I just feel overwhelmed that many meds. Is it too much? I don't know, because I've never been on a cocktail, and I hear a lot of people talk about their cocktails, and I'm glad that I don't have one. I've been on 3 meds, and does 3 meds, Kate? Does 3 meds mean drug resistant? I forgot how many we got from that answer last time. Because there was a certain amount.
The thing is, when they have you on 3 medications, sometimes the goal is to wean you off of one, like while you're taking that other one, that third one. So if the plan is to keep you on 3 medications, a lot of times we hear drug resistant, but they say when 2 medications fail is the consensus that I'm aware of.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I'm just reading. But I haven't had, I switched medications and they weren't failing. They just, I don't know. I didn't like Keppra after a while, and I'm still like, I say Dilantin, it didn't exactly work, but Keppra, it worked. It was just weird vibes, and thinking about walking into traffic and things of that sort. But yeah, I didn't have one that I exactly weren't working. My Keppra, I think, I don't know what milligram I was at because it was like 8 years ago or something like that. And yeah, to this person, don't feel overwhelmed. We just got to do this. You got to take what you can take, stay alive. Take your
Yeah,
medication.
if I could,
Prescribe.
I was gonna say if I could chime in, what I was gonna say is, yeah, when I thought I was on mute, is I said that that's a heck of a combo, because that's what I'm on right now is clozapam and Keppra. And man, I have just felt drained, tired, like no energy the last couple months since I've been on those two combined. And like she was saying earlier, yeah, the only time I've ever been on 3 is when I'm like starting a new one and tapering off of the other. So it'll only be like a week or 2 where I'm on 3 different medications, and that's only happened twice. But I'm currently on, yeah, those 2 right now, and I'm not liking the combination. I'm very, yeah, very tired, no energy. It's just not a fun time.
Mhm.
Doesn't sound very fun, James.
Cocktails
So,
are not fun.
right. First comment here says, I feel you. I take 600 milligrams of Aptium twice a day, 150 milligrams of lacosamide twice a day, 200 milligrams of lamotrigine twice a day, and 2,000 milligrams of Keppra twice a day. It's so much to digest that the liver is working 3 to 4 times as hard, and the side effects, especially memory, is a killer. Only saving grace is that I'm stable. Even the seizures I used to get were brief and solely focal. I consider myself luckier than many. Me too. Me too. When I first
Yeah.
went there and I got my refill, they gave me enough pills for 7 days and 11 refills. I was like, I'm not going to walk up here every week for this for 11 times. Then they just put them all together. And I was like, that's crazy, you guys. Who thinks of something like that? 11 refills of 7 or 14 pills? Yeah. Then I told the
You know what? If it
pharmacist.
works around the system, I am all for it so you can get your meds.
Yeah. Your neurologist will do almost anything to make sure you get what you need, which is
And
cool.
another reason why I think you should talk to your neurologist, not your primary, about sleep meds.
I
My
don't have a
neurologist.
neurologist. I thought you remembered that. I don't have a
No, I
neurologist.
don't.
Yeah.
We're-
That guy
Clinic.
retires.
you
That
and
guy
I are going to
retired ages
have an
ago.
intervention.
Yeah.
You need to get a neurologist.
I got an appointment with the new guy next month on the 16th.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I got an appointment with the new guy next month on the 16th. Other than that, I'm just gonna ask him, we can up this lamotrigine, but I'm not changing medications. Period.
If it works for you.
Yeah. Lamotrigine has got me down to, like I said, 3 to 5 seizures a year. And right now I'm only at 3. I'm at 4 if we count the aura in August. Other than that, yeah, I can just move up a dose. My focals are gone. The myoclonics are, and yeah, so there's that. I'm not drug resistant. Yeah, that was the thing, because we were thinking drug resistant because I took 3 meds, but we'll move forward. What was the question? Oh, person asking is it too much medications? Kate, Toaster, what's considered too much medications?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm gonna run it
I am
back to you.
guessing it's different for everybody.
Look at this though. It says 10 milligrams of clobazam twice a day, 1,000 milligrams of Keppra 3 times a day,
Wow.
or 100 milligrams of lacosamide a day. It's 100 milligrams in the morning, 100 milligrams in the afternoon, and 200 at night. And then 150 milligrams of 2 times a day. Are you beating that one?
Oh no.
Oh.
As I said, that was kind of stacked because I just got my medication. So
Yeah.
I take Ambien, Excopri, Depakote, and sometimes Seroquel at night.
Yeah, I might get some Ambien.
And in the morning, I take another dose of Depakote and my Prozac.
All right.
And then I also keep Jeffrey's medications in that treasure box too, because, well, I'm his mom and he shouldn't have his medications yet. He's 9.
Right.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Wait until he's older before he starts being responsible for his own medicines.
Good plan of
Jane,
action.
did you think that was a lot of dosages?
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I thought so. It messed with your liver as well. I think that's what I heard, that so many pills mess with your liver.
The benzos, hands down, are not supposed to be long-term medications, but they are.
Yeah, and Depakote is hard on the liver too.
I've been on it for a long time, but it's one of the ones that works and doesn't give me many side effects other than, killing my
Yeah.
unborn child. But other than that, that's fine.
The only reason I
did
couldn't
not
get
just
on
say that.
Depakote again was because of my liver. But I was looking forward to it. But yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple that I can't take because of my pancreatic issues. I can't remember the names of them now because it's been so long since they, it started, and basically they just said, yeah, you shouldn't be taking these because of your other issues. And then, so I just forgot the names of them after, 20 years now. But, yeah, there's a couple that I can't take because they could bring up issues.
Okay.
oh, wow.
I think Kevin was saying that he had what's it called, liver issues because of the medications. But go ahead, Toaster.
Sorry, stupid mute button. So does anyone have a funny story of why they can't take a medication? Like a
Oh,
particular medication?
Funny story for me, I can't take Kepper because I thought about walking in traffic when I was taking it. I also looked over the balcony like, hey, this is 7 stories up. And then there was another time I was like, we're on the 2nd floor. Could I make it? And that was during a seizure because I don't remember that. I remember waking up in they used to call it the crazy house, but that's a hard word to use these days. People get canceled for that. They call it the psych ward these days. And I've never seen something such like that. And it seemed so odd. I was in a room full of people and everyone there was cuffed to chairs, both hands, including me. Left and right. There was space in between all of us, maybe like 20 to 30 people all through a big room. There's one guy on the other side of the glass doing nothing. He could have been on TikTok or anything. You never know. But yeah, everyone was in there screaming. Not everyone. There were some people that were screaming, and then there was people that were screaming to tell the other people stop screaming. And then there was people who were screaming because they're maybe in withdrawals or something. There was a lot going on. And then there's people screaming at the officer or the nurse or whatever the case to tell them to stop making other people stop screaming. So there's people screaming at the person controlling it. There's people screaming at each other to tell other ones to stop screaming. It was an absolute, for lack of a better word, nut house. Yeah. Great experience. Great experience. It's a place you never want to go back to. You got to go there to know you don't want to go back. So that's what I mean by great experience.
There's a reason I can't take Klonopin.
why?
So the first time I took Klonopin, I was in high school.
Me too.
Yes. I had a seizure, but then it was called a panic attack, but they gave me Klonopin. I was in the hospital. Next day, I was still taking the Klonopin because they told me to continue taking it. And I was at school and the desk bit me. There were bats. Oh my goodness, that clock is spinning. nurse called my dad, and my dad calls me singing, "I love you, Abba. You're my favorite." The second time I took Klonopin, I texted my daughter over and over and over again. She was middle school at the time. Be careful of the birds. Beware birds. I threatened, and don't feel bad for him. I threatened my ex with castration if he didn't put on Star Wars. So yeah, I was never
He might have deserved it.
yes. I was constantly texting my parents. My dad had to call out of work. It was, and this was me, 24-year-old. My dad's coming to pick me up like I'm a errant teenager.
Hey, don't worry. When I had that seizure just a couple of weeks ago in the morning and told you, I can't remember if you were there or not when I was saying it. I was in the shower and I completely forgot that I even took a shower and I was about to go and take another one.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, so my dad like knocks on the door. He's like, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm taking a shower. I got to get ready for work." He's like, "You already took one. You had a seizure in the shower," and blah blah. Yeah. So no, he calls my mom, and he was just like, "James is still insistent on going to work. Like, can you talk him out of it?" Because I work with my mom. We work at the same school. So, and it's really close to us. So she ended up coming home. She tried to talk me out of going to work, and I was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm going to go to work." She's like, "All right, at least let me take you." I was like, because obviously she was going right back there, and I was like, "No, I'm still going to ride my bike. I'm an adult. I'm riding my bike. I am going to work today. I don't give up if I had a seizure." I still went to work. I still rode my own bike, but
I've been waiting to say this. Damn it, Jim.
Because it is embarrassing. Like you said, even at 24, you're just kind of like, in that shell of like, you don't want to admit that you need some help, right, from your parents. So at 39, it's even worse. So I was like, no, I'm doing this. There are some days where I'm like, I just can't do it. Okay, I need a ride. I'll accept the help. But unless it's like, yeah, really bad or something, I try and fend for myself.
I used to not ask for help because that is something that we tend to do, is feel like we want to be more independent and not ask people. But after a while, I gave up on that. I was like, whenever I need help, you can't be too big to ask for help. Don't be embarrassed. This is something we can't avoid. If I need help, I don't care if you're in the most uncomfortable, if you're in the shower, I'm going to let you know I need help, and when and how and whatever the case. Yeah, because you don't want to be put in a position because you didn't say anything. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, exactly. There are some days too where it's just like I've had a seizure. I'm already feeling like crap. I have no energy whatsoever. My mom will come in and check on me, and she's like, "Oh, is there anything I can do for you?" And then at that point, I'm like, "Yeah, just a sandwich or something." Something just like real basic. Like, all right, if you're gonna ask, then I'm gonna accept. So I need something. I don't feel like making my own food real quick. So sometimes
Also,
there
it
are,
makes
yeah,
them
you gotta
feel
just,
better too,
yeah, you just
because it
gotta
gives them a
swallow
way to take
bitter
care
pill.
of you.
Yeah. And obviously my parents, when they offer it, it's because they care. They don't have to come in here and do that. They could be just sit here and leave me be and do my own thing. So obviously they're doing it because they care. So yeah, it sucks when you lash out, right? I'm sure all of us have had at some point where we've lashed out at like the ones closest to us because of postictal or meds or some reason related to the epilepsy, right? So then it
Or
makes it,
Capra.
yeah. So it makes me feel even worse too, that like I'm saying like, okay, sure, I'll accept some help after, just yesterday I yelled at you about some random bullshit that I barely even remember because of my meds. And now I'm gonna accept help from you. Like, yeah, it just makes it feel even more like, I don't know what the right word is, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, you want to kind of hide inside yourself, you know?
Yeah.
I call it turtling.
That would be a good, yeah, term for it. Like the stories you've written, Toaster, like with the turtle, the alien one. I really liked that one. The other turtle ones too, because that
AJ
is.
needs to post AJ.
They got to get you in the story, James.
He is. He's Mustache Man.
She did
Oh.
it. She did a Mustache Man one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
Mustache
behind
Man
on
has. It's okay. Mustache
Mustache Man. You should see the
Mustache Man
picture.
has turned up. Turned up a couple times.
Yeah, I really like that. I really appreciate it. It puts a huge smile on my face, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just
love
funny because I'm
writing.
picturing myself at school, helping these kids out and everything. So yeah.
Mustache Man. I got to use that. Actually, that's kind of a goatee or a beard. James, we got to hang out before I move in a few weeks. Also, don't forget that.
Oh, you're moving?
We're not going
To
to be around
where?
the
How
corner from
far?
each other anymore. Antioch.
How far away?
Antioch.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that is pretty far.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, you said Antioch,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've been so
So-
lazy this year, but yeah, I haven't done it very much, but the mustache does go pretty long. So the kids
Yeah.
at school
I'd be the shame.
call me
So
Mr. The kids at school call me Mr. Mustache Man, so that's where that nickname came from. I have a name badge even. Let me see if I can grab it real quick, but yeah, that has that on there.
Hey, as a kid in high school who a security guard, officer, whatever you want to call them, hall monitors, it's all the same people. People who watch over the kids while they're going in between classes. Um, um, we nicknamed him RoboCop. And those nicknames will stick forever. There you go, Mr. Mustache. Yes.
I don't know if you guys can,
whoa,
if you guys can read that in the
James.
camera, but yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, I still have to have one that has my real name on it, but I have a second one with that on, and each year I keep getting a new one that has that nickname on it. And I still have kids now that, you know, they're in like 4th, 5th grade and they've been there since kindergarten and they're still calling me that after, you know, 4 or 5 years.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.